Hello Aries, welcome to your mid to late September and going into October tarot reading. Thanks for joining me. My name is Michelle and this is for Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Let's get started. From the Isis Oracle, what came out for you Aries was the Talismans of Potency. Now this is all about how we relate to the material world, to physical matter. And when you think of a talisman, well, a talisman is a physical object. It could be anything. For instance, say if you are walking along a path one day and a stone catches your eye and you pick it up and you feel some kind of energy behind it. This could be something that you could use as a talisman. Now, a talisman is an object that has been cleansed, and I do feel that there's this kind of energy around making it somehow symbolic of a more spiritual connection to matter. Now for you Aries, what I'm picking up is that there's some kind of wounded relationship with how you're viewing the physical world. Now this could be a number of things. It could be in relation to stability, security, and things that we consider valuable in our life, more material things. So the way that you are thinking about or dealing with the physical world, the more pentacles kind of earthy energy, is imbalanced at the moment. That's what I'm picking up. Now around you the energy is interesting because I have from the Divination of the Ancients the card of Geomancy, and Geomancy speaks of patience. So the feeling here is one of not forcing an issue, needing to have a more gentle kind of flow, more like a watery energy. I'm getting a lot of solid resistance around this particular reading, but what's called for to get past it is more of a watery energy. When you think of a rock, and what does a rock do when water meets it? Well, it's seemingly immovable, but over time, of course, that water wears it away. It finds its own way around this rock. So that's the way that I'm feeling around this whole reading, Aries. Raw morganite is an interesting stone. Raw morganite is a gentle heart-cleansing stone, and it's very valuable when we wish to release old patterns, wounds, and blockages that are obstacles to a more loving relationship with others or with ourselves. Meditation with this stone allows connection to that more divine love, which eases fear of vulnerability and allows us to be open to more of a receiving kind of energy. So I can't help but think, Aries, it's either you or someone around you who's like this immovable object. Very stony kind of resolve around them. And there's a great deal of force around this person, and there's a need for a more gentle approach, a more receptive kind of energy, more sensitivity, more gentleness, more empathy, compassion, vulnerability, even self-forgiveness. So it could be you, Aries, that has this blockage, very strong kind of boundary that others may find impenetrable. But we'll see where this goes. I'm going to be using the Golden Tarot here for this reading. I've already meditated on your energy. At the bottom of the deck we have the Four of Wands. So it does seem to be how you relate to a more stable kind of feeling. Something that is imbalanced, possibly around the home, where you live, your family situation. Let's see. We'll take a look at the energy of the person that you're dealing with here, Aries, what they bring to the table when it comes to you, their flaw as you see it, how they feel about you, Aries, how you feel about them, the strengths, what you have working for you, the weaknesses, what's working against you. Take a look at the potential for a healthy relationship crossed by any roadblock to that, and the outcome. And don't forget, as always, the energies can be vice versa, so keep that in mind. Or if you're not dealing with anyone, Aries, this could be your energy. Let's take a look. We have the 10 of coins, so it is in relation to long-standing family issues, legacy. Now this could be family, blood family that you've grown up with, Aries, and your relation to money. This is what I'm picking up from Spirit. Deeply ingrained issues around money. Now for some Aries, what I'm picking up is that there's a lot of expectations on you from family when it comes to money, the physical world, having things. But I don't know, I'm getting more of an energy around you, Aries, of you don't believe that. Perhaps you did at one point, but it's changing. And you're taking a more spiritual approach to life. Whereas in the past you may have gone along with the family and said, okay, yes, I'm going to do things and I'm going to be very focused on attaining monetary wealth, you know, the big house, all of the luxury items, all of that. There's a change in you, Aries. Now, we have the Queen of Coins in the reverse is what they bring to the table with you. So yes, it's like you're in some kind of either a family or in a relationship where the focus has been on money and material gain. But for you, I get you now as the Queen of Coins in reverse. And I do feel that there's more of an essence around this of not feeling like it's enough. Now this could go one of two ways. I'm getting a couple of messages here. One is that you could be thinking that you don't have enough material gain, that you want more. But for others of you, I feel that that's more for the cross-watcher, for someone who is not watching tarot. But for the people here, the Aries that I'm speaking to, I feel this is more about you having a less attachment to material things. There's a growing feeling within you of trying to understand or get to the bottom of how does the material plane work in relation to my more spiritual path. How can I integrate these two things? Okay, now we have as the floor of this person, we have the Hierophant. So I do feel around the other person there is a very traditional kind of approach to life. They may be someone who, because it's the flora, I'm picking up that this person is a teacher to you, is a spiritual teacher, but in a way that has opened your eyes. It's not that they've been teaching you the spiritual path. I actually feel that you've been taught a lesson by this person or involvement with this person that takes you down a more spiritual route. Now, Aries, how they feel about you, the 9 of Coins. Okay, so they do believe that you are someone who is more focused on material things, more focused on having attained the luxury lifestyle. Now, they see you as someone who is very capable. They see you as someone who's worked hard to achieve this. So it's not that they believe that you are, I'm not picking up any codependent kind of energy or anything like that. It's just that they believe that your focus, like them, has been on gathering things, having the portfolio, having the luxury house, all of the good things around you. But I actually feel that this is you. You like those things, of course, we all do. We all want to have enough. We all want to feel like we don't have to be worried about where our next dollar is coming from or where we're going to be living from week to week. So you want that. You want the stability. You want to have that energy around you where you're not concerned. The thing is, often when we're in places in life where we find it very difficult to get past the struggle, when we're dealing with the daily struggle of just living, we can't really follow a spiritual path then, because we're so focused on day to day, and getting through the day, earning the money, paying the bills, all of that. So it's you're not able to focus. You're not able to focus on a more spiritual path. But I feel that you're now attaining, Aries, enough. You have things in your life, so you don't feel pushed to have more and more and more. So you're having a little bit more time on your hands here to take a more spiritual look at things, and that's where I feel you're at. Now, how you are viewing them, we have the Death card in reverse. So you see them as someone who is not changing. You're changing, but they're not changing. I think you got into a relationship or this family situation where they are very, very focused on work, a lot of work involved here. This is not, the people that you're with are not people who believe that things fall from trees and that life is easy. No, this is money gained through work. Some of it for the other person may, or maybe for some of you Aries as well, there might be a family legacy. That's for some. But more so, I feel that this is money that you've attained through hard work, by being diligent, by focusing. But I feel very strongly now that you're at a point in your life where you're starting to think, well, is this all there is? Is this enough for me? The other person is not changing their viewpoint. They're still very focused on the material plane. Now, the strengths between you two, we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Obstacles, blockages. I feel that at the moment, the messages are just not getting through to this other person. You might be giving clues that you're not happy, or that you feel like you should be experiencing something more other than the work side of things, and just day to day, paying the bills and then going out and getting more money. Let's see what the weakness is. Yeah, we've got Judgment in reverse. I do feel that at the moment the only thing that is really keeping you with this particular situation, whether it's a love partnership or with a blood family, is that you haven't made up your mind. You haven't made a decision yet. You feel that there's more of a higher calling for you, something else. It could be that you're looking at a career change, a refocus on a different, more spiritual or more service kind of energy that I'm picking up here. Service to other people, service to the earth. You could be focusing more on less on yourself and your own situation, and more on the global kind of problems that are going on. So I get an opening of your mind, but this other person is not changing. And I feel for you, at some point, this call that you might be ignoring at the moment is going to get the better of you, and it's going to force you to make a decision whether or not to stay with this person or with this family. Now, when it comes to your potential, you've got the Moon. The roadblock is the Three of Wands, yeah. So you're undecided. You don't really know where your next move is going to be. I do feel that you're hearing a call that there's something else, something more than what you've experienced in this particular relationship. But there's a lot of confusion around you. you don't really see the path forward, but when you do, I feel that that's when you're going to make this choice. So you're in this transition where you're changing, Aries. The other person is not changing, and that's the problem. The outcome is the Devil. Okay, well, what I'm getting around this is that, is the material attachment going to be too strong for you to move on, for you to release that attachment? We'll see where this goes in part 2. It's very interesting energy. You know, the Devil is what keeps us bound. It's what keeps us very it's bondage. It's being bound to another person, because ultimately we feel like, well, we don't have options, or we can't get away. So this strong bond around this family or this other person, Aries, very, very strong bond. Can it be broken by this higher calling that I'm hearing around you? Very forceful energy. Very strong energy around you both. And I get, with this card of Raw Morganite, that the relationship between you and this person, or you and this family, has to be more empathic, more compassionate, more gentle. I think that that's what you're looking for. Either you or the other person, Aries. It's force. Someone forcing a certain way, forcing a way to be, forcing you, or you forcing them down a certain path. But I do feel that it's you, Aries, more so than the other person, who is starting to think that there's more than this forceful nature. A little bit more. I feel if this relationship is to survive, or you stay with this family situation here, it has to be on a more compassionate level. Somebody has to open up, make some changes, and be less focused on the material side of things and more on picking it up as a service to others and a depth. There has to be more than just this greed, attachment to money, attachment to things. So we'll see where this goes in part 2. In the deep read, I'll be doing more of the dual reading, which I'm starting to do now for the mid readings. I continue to do them for the start of the month readings on YouTube, but I do the dual readings now on the Vimeo on part 2 for the mids. So let's get started. For your energy, I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite deck. I'll be putting down the first layer of cards, so we will see what we will be talking about in the extended reading. We'll take this a step further. It'll be about another 30 to 40 minute reading. So I do hope that you join me there if this is resonating. So let's take a look at your energy here, Aries, towards the other person. We'll start with the past energy. We have the Death card in the upright. Let's take a look at where you currently stand. The Knight of Swords in reverse. Where you hope to stand with this in the future, you've got the Sun. Let's take a look and see how you are viewing this person. Ten of Swords in reverse. What are your doubts and fears? The Three of Pentacles in reverse. The challenge for you is the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And the outcome is Justice in reverse. Okay. Now for the other person, I'm going to be using the Universal Waite deck. And we'll see what their energy is around this situation. Remember, either side can resonate. So whatever side resonates the most, that's your message, Aries. So let's see what the energy is around the person that you're dealing with here. Message for the Aries, the energy of the person that they are dealing with. The energy of the person that Aries is dealing with, please. The energy of the person that Aries is dealing with. Sometimes, when we're with a certain person for a while, it works for a time, but then if someone goes through a change, a very strong transformation, the other person may get left behind, especially spiritually. So let's see. Their past energy, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, okay. Let's see where they currently stand. King of Swords in the upright. Where they hope to be in the future, we have the 7 of Cups. How they're viewing you, Aries, we have the 9 of Swords. Doubts and fears for this person, we have the Sun card. Their challenge is the 4 of Cups in reverse, and the outcome for them, we have the Hierophant. Okay, so we will look at this in part 2. Please join me there if this is resonating. The link is below in the descriptions box. Again, it'll be about another 30 to 40 minute reading. We'll go further in depth, pull out a lot more cards, and we'll see where this goes for the future. So please join me there if this is resonant. If you'd like a personal reading, you can email me as well. My email is gypsyinsights@gmail.com. You can find that in the box below as well. Wishing you the best with this, Aries. Please do take care, and I will speak to you again very soon. Bye for now.